Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
In case I don't see ya. That's what you're supposed to say first.
Huh?
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
That's a saying from The Truman Show.
I've never watched that. How old do you think I am?
Sometimes. It's Jim Carrey. Aren't you a Jim Carrey fan?
No, but I know you are because he was from your hometown.
He was. I was about to say that. He's from Sutton and Jackson's Point. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he was.
Not that I'm not a fan of him. I'm just neutral.
Okay.
Well, we have a great episode for you guys in store. Today we're going to be talking about modern day issues. I don't know what the title is. Modern day problems.
Modern day problems.
Modern day problems. So, as you can imagine, they're going to be problems that we have to deal with in
Today's age.
Today's age, yes.
A little mix of technology, socialism. Is that the right word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Social economics?
Sure.
Economy issues?
Sure.
I don't know.
Luna's making a lot of noise back here.
Just making some biscuits. Finally got Luna to come on board. If you guys are on YouTube.
She's leaving this bitch.
Oh, she's serious. I told you we needed to start faster. She's been up there for like 10 minutes cleaning herself. And as soon as we start talking, she's like, nope, I'm out. Peace out.
All right. Anyways, should we get into it?
Yeah, classic rock, paper, scissors.
No, I want to go first. I'm claiming
Oh, you're just getting in there.
I'm getting into it. I have a pressing story that I want to share.
Okay.
This story, I don't know. This one, it hit a nerve for me.
Hit home?
Not that I can relate to it,
Touched
but
your heart?
it made me really sad. Oh. And I'll just read the story, but basically the original post was removed by moderators in the AITAH thread. So we reposted it on our /ThreadTalk podcast thread if you guys want to see it there. So as usual, Denver will leave a link in the bottom if you guys want to see. Yeah, I'll just get into the story. The title is, Am I the asshole for losing it on my husband for not taking care of our newborn the whole time I was at work? Using a throwaway, don't need anyone in my real life finding out this shit show of my life. I'm 23 female, my husband is 28 male. We've been married for 4 years, together for 5. We met when I was 17, but didn't officially start dating until I was 18. My husband has done a lot for me, paid for entire semesters of college when my parents refused to complete a FAFSA, encouraged me to take out loans when he/we couldn't afford to pay for my tuition entirely, moved me away from my abusive/toxic family members, but I'm really struggling with this. I had a baby 9 weeks ago. It was a rough birth. I was laid off from a really awesome job working in an office as a customer service rep due to quote-unquote budget cuts, while pregnant. My husband swore he'd take care of us. We'd be able to survive off of one income, etc. All of that bullshit. I went through what little savings I had with a quickness because even though he talked a big game of taking care of us all, he still insisted I pay my share of the bills. I'm still in unemployment appeal hell. I was applying to jobs left and right until I was 38 weeks pregnant and realized no one was going to hire me so close to giving birth. I have a bachelor's degree and literally ended up getting a waitressing job at fucking Cracker Barrel just so I can have income coming in. My husband works a federal government job and has 12 weeks of paid paternal leave. He promised he'd watch over our girl while I worked to quote-unquote save money on daycare. I've been at this waitressing job for a little over a week. It's tough going from an office setting to being on my feet all day. I'm in a lot of pain, but having some job is better than no job, so I just deal. The quality of care that my husband has been giving our daughter is getting worse and worse. I come home to her not being changed, not being fed, or her blowouts are so bad she had shit up her back. I've tried talking nicely. I've tried being reasonable. I even suspected he had male postpartum depression or some shit, and he told me he just couldn't connect with her. And all she does is cry, and it's grating on his nerves. Today was the worst one yet. I came home to my daughter still in her crib, still in the pajamas she was in the night before, after I laid out clothes for her. She was red in the face from crying so much. I started to warm up a bottle and asked my husband, When did he last feed her? His answer was, I don't know, I haven't given her a bottle today. She cries every time I try to hold her. I just lost my shit on him. All hell flew through me, and I couldn't contain my anger. I called him a piece of shit, neglectful father, and asked why the fuck did he knock me up, /refuse, /make me feel bad for using condoms if he wasn't going to take care of the child he helped me create. I'm working 8 hours waitressing shifts, making $3 an hour plus tips, still bleeding, feet constantly hurting, trying to dry up this breast milk, all while putting on a fake-ass smile and trying my damnedest to make money in tips to have enough to bring home and pay my fair share of the bills every 2 weeks. I ended up locking baby and myself in the bedroom and told him to just fuck off and leave us alone. Managed to calm my daughter down with a bottle and bath, and now she's napping, but I am still so fucking angry. My husband told his mom, I guess, and tattled on me. My mother-in-law decided to message me and give me a hard time because he doesn't know what he's doing. This is his first time being a parent. And yeah, I pushed a 7-pound watermelon out of my vag, and I'm still not neglecting my baby. I'm so angry and tired of this. Our daughter deserves better. Hell, I deserve better. I sent him a text that he either needs to shape up or ship the fuck out, and his response was, where are you going to go? And now I'm just beyond angry and frustrated with him and his level of care for the child he helped me make. I'm even more angry that he ran to his mom, who can say something shitty to me but can't come over and help her son if he's feeling overwhelmed. My head is spinning, and I just need someone to set me straight. I keep wavering back and forth on if I am an asshole or not over this. I just want my daughter to have a competent father and not a neglectful one. If I could up and leave him to make him face reality, I would, just to show him I'm not fucking around. There's a couple edits, but so far, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like this is really relatable for me right now because my sister just had word.
Yeah.
And with Andrew.
Maybe that's why it's like
hitting
home. Like, yeah.
But like, it's honestly not that hard to take care of a baby. And I mean that like in a sense of like complicated. It's hard, but it's not complicated. It's not that.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
But it's not complicated.
It's not complicated.
It's not rocket science.
It's actually simple.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's not hard. It's actually very simple to do. And I mean that in like it's like ABC. It's ABCs almost, like from what I understand. Like Madison was taking us through it. We're helping Andrew. It's you put a bottle, you feed them, you clean them, you clean the diaper, and you hold them. And that's all you have to do in simple steps on repeat. You just have to do that all day. Like they poop 15 times a day.
Well, Andrew does.
Andrew does.
I don't know what the average baby...
I don't know what the average baby is, but it is essentially let them sleep, feed them, clean them. Let them sleep, feed them, clean them.
Yeah.
If they cry, you check their diaper. If their diaper is clean and they are still crying, you bottle them. And if their diaper is clean and their bottle has been fed and they're still crying, and then generally, you try and call to them, and if they're still crying, there's nothing much you can do. It's a colicking baby, you're crying them. But it seems like, from what Madison has been saying, it's rinse and repeat. It's those three things, but you just keep going. It's very simple, but it's very, very repetitive. Mm-hmm. And you have to consistently do it. And the fact that he's like, oh, I don't know, I haven't fed her yet. I'm like, what are you talking about? You haven't fed it. The baby needs to be fed like every hour and a half, every 3 hours. Like
I think Madison said every 4 hours.
Yeah. So it's like you need to wake up in the middle of the night. You need to feed him. You need to feed him through the day, and you need to change his diaper 15 times, like 30
the times that we've
whatever.
Been to Madison's. Like we've only been there for like a few hours, and it's like every half an hour they're changing diapers. Like
as soon as
crazy.
the baby pees or poops, you change the diaper. You don't change the diaper, every 5 hours or on a schedule or anything.
Yeah.
No, it's as soon as they pee or poop, you change the diaper. So it's a pretty simple concept. As soon as it gets dirty, you change it. So the fact that he's like leaving the baby and I can't connect, it's like, this is not about connecting. This is about doing the simple things. And if you're still not connecting after that, okay, it is what it is. But it's doing the very simple steps of like, as soon as the diaper gets dirtied, you change it.
Maybe you will connect with her after you actually like provide her necessary like
if you did the work,
a necessary environment so that she can live.
Yeah,
like,
I think he's overwhelmed by how many times he needs to change the diaper, and that's just the reality.
Or feed her. Like I think he's just annoyed with the crying and like.
Like they're not on a 3 meals a day schedule like we are. It's not on I poop once a day schedule. No, they're going to keep repeatedly doing that for the first 2 years, essentially.
Yeah. And like, yes, I am not a parent, but I could imagine being a new parent. Like, this is probably very overwhelming for people naturally. Like, everything is new. You don't know what you're doing. But I feel like he's not even trying. He's not trying hard enough to like connect with it or even just keep her alive.
It's not even about like connecting.
I know.
I feel like that is a sorry ass excuse. You need to put in the work.
Yeah.
Change the diapers, bottle, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Change the clothes, change the diapers, bottle, bath it once a couple of days, and watch it as it naps, and it's rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Burp it. It's not about connecting. It's about getting the job done, doing the freaking job.
Yeah.
So at this point, even though he's on parental leave, I would be like, no, you're going back to work. You said whatever. I'm not working. I'm not leaving my child alone. You're going back to work, and we can figure the bills out. If we got to make cuts on other stuff, I'm not buying clothes for whatever, but we're going on to this one income that you promised, and I would force him into it. Be like, I am not going to work anymore. I am staying here. If you want to lose the roof over our head.
It just made me really sad. She literally said, like, I'm still bleeding from my birth. Like, the birth was, like...
9 weeks ago?
Traumatic. She cannot be up on her feet waitressing.
No, and you can't be going to work when your husband is incompetent. So after that, I would come home. The first day I come home and it's in a dirty diaper. I'm pissed and that's it. I come home twice, that's it. I'm not going to work anymore. I don't trust you.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you literally can't trust him. Like, he's just a terrible person all around.
Yeah, piece of shit.
There's a couple edits. For you guys saying, leave now, I have $6 to my name. If I could leave, I would. I'm going to social services on Monday. The domestic violence hotline was able to connect me to one shelter, and they're trying to find placement for us for the weekend. Stop messaging me that I should have aborted my baby or given her up for adoption. If I had known my husband would be so fucking awful at taking care of her, I would have never had her at all. Can't exactly turn back that clock. Some of you guys need a lesson in empathy. I do not want this to continue. Edit 2.
Okay.
Shelter won't have space for us until Monday. Literally asking old coworkers and the 3 friends I have left if they can loan me money to get a hotel room for the weekend. I have a to-do list for Monday, with social services and calling lawyers and seeing whatever the hell else can be done next week. This sucks. I feel horrible for my daughter and keep going from crying to being angry and full of rage again. My daughter deserves better, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure this never happens again to either of us. Thank God I have an IUD and he can't knock me up again. I feel both helpless and just wanting to escape again. Here's hoping I have some success and can update y'all on Monday over everything.
An IUD? Be like, bro, we're not having sex anymore.
There's another update. Edit. To clarify, I am not having sex with my husband. I got the IUD to have more permanent birth control since he was pressuring me to have sex before I was ready / even before the 6-week mark.
Okay, fuck this guy.
I do not want to end up with another kid / Irish twins because of his refusal to wear condoms. I am going to call lawyers on Monday to talk about divorce. I don't want to be with him any longer, and I want better for myself and my daughter. People are asking if I have a GoFundMe. I don't, but I have Cash App and Zelle. I don't know what that is. Sorry. I didn't expect this post to blow up with over 500 messages in my inbox, but you guys, I'm trying. I'm doing my best to get away from him and keep him out of our lives for good. Edit 4. I ended up taking my girl to the hospital, and we've been here all night. It's almost 5 a.m., and I've gotten maybe 4 hours of sleep in the past 24 hours. I will update everyone on what's going on, but so many people have asked if I have a GoFundMe. I just made one, and here's the link. We are safe, we are okay. Monday can't get here soon enough, so we can begin rebuilding back our lives away from him. I am so exhausted and angry and sad and feeling all the emotions, but we're going to get through this. I will update you guys in a couple of days.
Wow, so it sounds like she really wants to get away from him, because in my head I was thinking like, you know, my first thing would be, okay, I'm not going to work anymore. I'm staying home to take care of the baby and you can go back to work. But it sounds like she really wants to get as far away from him as possible, because who knows how darker that could turn. Like, it starts with neglect and who knows where it's going to go from there. But yeah, divorce. And then he has to pay child support.
Exactly.
And then you can stay home and take care of the baby.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons I'm really impacted by the story is I think we see a lot of people like post on here and then they're like, I don't know what to do. Do I leave or do I not? This girl is literally like, I can't leave, but I'm leaving. Like, I have $0 to my name, but I know it's best for me and my baby to leave. Like, anything would be better than staying in a house with him. And
Exactly.
I feel like that's rare. Like, no, like a lot of people like aren't this strong and like it's hard to be.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, I really applaud her. And when I was reading this, I was crying, but like, I just feel like she is so strong for doing what's best for her and the baby, especially the baby.
I agree. Like, yeah, because I feel like it just hits harder because, you know, we've had Madison and we've been the Andrew, and it's like, it's a 24/7 job to take care of a baby. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you can work and take care of a baby at the same time. Like, it is pretty much a full-time job for one person.
This is why I put it in the modern day issues, because before it was common for only one income.
Yeah, now
To be provided.
she's forced to
Now-
work.
Yeah, like now in today's economy, like both parents, you usually have to have a double income household to raise babies or raise a kid.
Yeah, like I feel like if you want your wife to have your child, you need to be able to and be a mother and a stay-at-home, just to be a mom. Like, you need to be a stay-at-home mom, especially like for the beginning. You need to be able to take care, like one person who needs to be that primary caregiver and the other person needs to go to work. Whatever gender role that wants to be. I mean, usually it's the mom because they're the incubator, so it's always a closer attachment. But like, hey, if you're like, hey, I want to have kids and I still want to work, I feel like one person in the relationship needs to make enough money for both of them, because one of them needs to be a stay-at-home parent for a pretty long time before they can go to daycare.
But it is the reality that most people can't afford that.
Exactly.
So-
and that's a huge modern day problem.
Yeah. So there is another update. And by the way, when I reposted this on our thread, I did put the link to the GoFundMe. So anybody who wants to donate, we've never done this before, but I just feel like I really, really want to help her out. And I asked her like if I can share all of her information and everything. And she was really appreciative and grateful that we were sharing this. So if you guys would like to help out and you have the means to, the GoFundMe is on our ThreadTalk page. And we've already donated. I sent her a PayPal last night. But yeah, anything helps. I think, yeah, I just feel like I want to help as much as we can. And we have a platform to
Where
do
we
that.
can do that, yeah.
So, okay, there is another update. This was posted 3 hours ago. Hey guys, I'm back with a small update. First things first, I ended up taking baby girl to the hospital last night after my soon-to-be ex-husband left to go drink or do whatever. I waited until he was gone and packed a small bag with all of our important information and went to the emergency room since my daughter's pediatrics was closed until Monday. She was looked over and they kept her overnight for observation after I told them everything. She had a rash, they tested for a UTI, and I expressed my concerns over her having shaken baby syndrome, which wasn't something that even crossed my mind until a lot of people mentioned it in my first comments. The emergency room doctor said she was alert and bright and very unhappy with the IV. She cried so hard when they stuck the needle in her. So they wanted to observe her first before putting her through a CT scan. She was dehydrated, so she had the IV put in. I'm gonna cry, I'm sorry.
Holy fuck, yeah, like literally.
I don't know, I'm gonna read the rest of this. I think I maybe got 4 hours of sleep throughout the whole ordeal. She is such a happy, smiley... I'm crying, sorry. I can't. She is such a happy, smiley, drooly little baby, and my fucking heart breaks for what she had to deal with at the hands of her father. I don't know, I'm gonna read the rest of this. I'm really sorry. I will have to have a CPS case opened against me and her father for his neglect. I'm going to cooperate with them so it helps me gain as much physical and legal custody over her. I don't feel confident that when we divorce and he is granted some type of custody, this won't happen again. Since I called out of both my weekend shifts and Monday shift to go to the social services, best believe I'm applying to everything. SNAP, WIC, TANF, medical insurance, etc. I don't think I will have a job at Cracker Barrel much longer, but I literally took that job just to have a job. A couple people messaged me with remote jobs that I might be able to get with my degree. Once we're settled in the shelter, I'm also hoping they will be able to help me find a decent job, hire an attorney that won't cost me $5,000 for me to divorce my husband, and help me set up child support payments. He can fuck all the way off into the sunset for all I care, but I didn't knock myself up by myself. So many of you were kind, offering me places to crash and support. I am so grateful and cried a lot. A lot of you have been in my situation and gave me words of hope when I was feeling really, really down and dumb over my choices. I have a hotel room for the next 2 nights, thanks to awesome people in this sub. We are going to the shelter on Monday, where we can start rebuilding pieces of our lives, and honestly, I wouldn't shed a tear if my soon-to-be ex decides to just give up on his parental rights. I've practically been a single parent for the last 9 weeks. What's another 18 years of doing it by myself? I literally left with the clothes on my back and a bag for us both to share, so the thought of just starting from scratch is terrifying, but I know it is what I have to do. I know a lot of people were worried about us and our safety, but we are safe. We are okay for the most part. I still go back and forth from sadness to rage to feeling down and being angry at my 17-year-old self for thinking an older man would take care of me, and it turned out to be a bunch of lies. I have blocked my mother-in-law and soon-to-be ex, and I'm genuinely thinking of changing my phone number to cut off all communication with both of them, unless I'm ordered to by a court or something. I just want to wash my hands clean of him and pretend he doesn't exist. I can never trust him, or his mom really, again with my daughter. As someone who didn't grow up with a father, and it made my mom hate me because I looked like him, I have a very clear memory of her throwing a pot of water at me because I made a face that looked like my dad's. Part of me hurts for my daughter because I sure picked a shitty sperm donor for her, but she deserves so much better than him. I will post again on Monday for everyone once we are safe in the shelter.
Oh my God, I'm hurting right now. Like, not only did she go through like a fucking terrible childhood with her parent, mom, and then like, yeah, like mother-in-law is a piece of shit who raised a piece of shit son. You know this son's going to be a piece of shit when the mother-in-law is not even coming to help with his newborn baby.
Yeah.
Like, she couldn't even come over and lend a hand. Obviously, he sucks at doing it because he doesn't... Like, I just feel like those are...
enabling him.
Those are, like, coordinated. Like, they're linked. Like, him being a shitty parent and her not coming over to help is, like... Wow, that makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
I'm happy she left now. Oh, my God.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I didn't even think about that. The shaken baby syndrome, because like he's so fucking neglectful and he's probably tired of hearing the baby cry because he's not fucking changing the diaper or feeding her, and he's shut up. And oh my God. Yeah, no. Originally at first I was like, you know, would it make more sense to quit your job and just put it on him and, you know, whatever? But like, no, you need to get away. Like, you can't trust him. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. For those who also maybe just want to donate through Venmo or PayPal, she gave me permission to share that information as well. So her Venmo is EMIT13 and her PayPal is EMIWREN8@gmail.com. And again, GoFundMe, it will be on our ThreadTalk and link down below.
Yeah. My heart hurts.
I hope she gets the help that she needs. This one just made me really sad. And it made me realize, like, maybe we can help people in the future. Like,
yeah, I mean, we have the platform to do that. And
I never thought of that before.
I love Reddit, too, from, like, the story that we had about the traveling person who, like, got left on the traveling partner to this one. And somebody, like, reached out and was going to try and help her get a position with, like, the actual degree that she got from college. There's a lot of nice people out there.
Yeah, and I the comments are so wholesome. Like, all the comments, like, everybody is trying to help her. So that makes me feel a little bit better that she is getting a lot of support from Reddit. But yeah, we obviously want to help as much as we can as well.
Yeah, I would also say don't block them. Don't block the mother-in-law. Don't block him. Don't pick up their phone calls. But let any shitty text messages come through onto your phone, because that's more evidence for you going for full custody.
That is true.
So yeah, never. I would say never block your abuser unless you know that they're somehow tracking you. every situation is different, but I would think that the more evidence that you can get from an abusive person coming onto your phone, the better it is in your case for restraining order, suing for custody, anything like that. The more evidence that you can collect of terrible text messages that you're sending your way, the better off you are.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's the smartest thing to do. It might be hard to see all those texts come in and stuff.
But I think it'd be worth it if you can use it to yourself in the long run.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on? Amelia, we are thinking about you and we will be in touch.
Yes.
Are you struggling with weight loss and looking for a plan that actually works? Then you've got to check out Mochi Health. They take a truly holistic approach to weight loss with everything you need. Visits with board-certified doctors, nutrition consultants, and even medication delivered right to your door. And we're talking about science-backed medications, including GLP-1s like Ozempic and their generic compounded versions. These aren't just any medications. They're FDA approved and proven to help you reach your weight loss goals. Plus, Mochi is affordable and accessible, even if your insurance doesn't cover it. Their dietitians work alongside your medication to create personalized nutrition plans that fit your lifestyle. So you're not just losing weight, you're making easy, sustainable changes for long-term success. Ready to get started?
Then head over to joinmochi.com and use our code ThreadTalk for $40 off your order. That's joinmochi.com and our code ThreadTalk for $40 off. Your journey to a healthier you starts today. It's my turn. I will...
do you have anything happy?
Let's pick up the mood. Let me sort through. My list is off. I gotta find something now. I gotta rearrange, see which one's the best. Okay. I have one that I think will get a laugh out of you.
Perfect.
Okay. There's a title to it, but it gives away too much.
Yeah, don't say it then.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into the story, and then at the end I'll tell you guys the title. Probably 7 or 8 years ago, in my early 30s, I had a couple of dates with a guy. He was a professional like me. Cute, an alternative hipster type, but looked clean cut. Well, we sleep together, and when I went down orally on him, I could smell something.
Oh, God.
I should have ended it there, but I didn't. I just quit with the oral, and we proceeded into PIV, which was normal enough. When it was over, he got up to go to the bathroom, and there was a huge skid mark on my bed. Like, very large, and I was shocked. He jumped in the shower and then left. When he asked me to hook up again, at first I ignored him, but he continued texting me, and I finally blurted out, "Bro, you shit in my bed."
Oh my God.
And then he said, "No, I didn't. That was your period starting." It was absolutely not.
Please.
I was clueless why or how this happened, as there was no anal stuff happening to either of us. Now, after reading all of these posts, I realized that this guy just never washed his ass. Mortifyingly, I had to laundry these sheets. Point being, you can't look at someone and tell by looking at them if they clean themselves properly. I'd have never guessed.
I'm sick. So that is truly vile.
This was posted in r/hygiene, and the title was, "I had sex with a guy who left skid marks on my sheets."
Oh my God. That's fucking vile. I can't. I didn't like that one. Please, I feel like sick. Like my stomach is queasy.
The top comment, "This is disgusting, and the nerve of him to blame you. He knows his bed sheets have shit. He is fully aware he's the shitter."
100%. Yeah.
It was your period start. Bro, this was brown, not red. What the fuck?
Your underwear is probably covered in shit all the time, too.
Yeah.
Ew. No. I'm sick.
This reminds me of the poo stomper story.
Oh, yeah. The one on Two Hot Takes, right?
Yeah, I think that's where we heard it from originally. Yeah, I guess if you guys haven't heard it, essentially there is a post from 11 years ago, and the title was, it's deleted now, but the title was, "So my boyfriend just nonchalant informed me that he regularly poops in her shower and does a waffle stomp to clean it out. What's the strangest thing that you guys have learned from your partner?" Can you imagine just shitting in a shower and then stomping it down. Waffle stomp, I guess, because the drains are always like a cross mark. Waffle stomping it and then rinsing it. What if you like your turd was like really big and you stomped it and then it just got stuck? Because you can only push your foot down so much. What do you try with your big toe to get it to go down further?
Oh my! Please, can we change the subject? I am not comfortable right now.
And then you're like spraying the hot water down, but now it's like a sealed plug and now it's turning into a bath.
Oh, you're sick. What's wrong with you?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I didn't like that.
Listen, if you get out of the shower after cleaning yourself and you're wiping yourself down with your towel and you turn that white towel brown when you get to clean your butt, you didn't wash good enough.
Please. I have nothing else to say. I'm going to move on now.
Teresa's scarred.
I'm going to move on. Am I the asshole for telling my husband? I'm moving on. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he's too broke to be sexist? They're away. So my husband comes from a quote-unquote traditional family. Mom's a stay-at-home mom. Father was the sole provider. I came from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early on. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. He often pulled his weight at home, was an engaged and present father, and a genuine partner. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the opinions of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Our usual MO is I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch at work at school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holiday, so in the meantime, we're DIYing the cleaning, where it's down to everyone to keep their space clean and common spaces we all clean. This is how we've always done it, and it works. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. They hate that I work, they hate that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and mother, and they hate that my husband pulls his weight at home. We spoke pretty frankly early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I won't be chastised about how I live my life in my home. When I am a guest in their home, I accommodate their ways and play the daughter-in-law they wish I was. They have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. I typically get home around 6:15, 6:30, and we eat at 7. I said quick hellos and ran up for pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about it, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as a wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me. I just walked away and ordered takeaway. I dished up for me and my kids, and we sat at the table to eat. My husband and his parents served themselves and joined us. My mother-in-law was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman and took better care of my home and our children. He said tradition was tradition for a reason, and it was kind of insulting that I thought it was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be the asshole. I told him tradition won't allow a man on $35K to support a family of 5, and he was too broke to be so sexist. He looked hurt, and I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying this in front of our children, but him saying that to me after I'm busting my ass to clean up his mess on top of having to deal with his parents was too much for me. Am I the asshole?
Divorce! No, set them fucking straight. 35K? Bro, no, because like, you want traditional family? Okay. You want a traditional wife. Okay. Let's go traditional. You want to be the traditional person. Guess what's traditional? The wife she stays home. Do you know why the wife's duty is to cook, clean the house, and take care of the kids?
Or was.
Was. Yeah. No, in the traditional sense. In the traditional sense. Why is the wife's duty to cook, clean, and take care of the kids?
Because they're home.
Because they're home. Because they don't go to fucking work. If you're not providing for your family and your wife has to go to work, you have nothing to say about why she needs to cook dinner. If you were home and she wasn't, you're cooking dinner, bro. I would have ordered takeout.
Only for you and your kids?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have excluded them from
too.
it. You guys were home, sat on your fucking ass. You wait for me to go to work and come home. I'm riled up right now.
No,
I'm rattled up. And wait for me to come home to cook dinner. I would slap you in front of your mom.
Okay.
Talk to me that way. I'm upset. And also, if we want to do the non-traditional and you want to flip the gender roles and wife wants husband to stay at home and she wants him to do all this stuff, you better be making enough money for your spouse to sit at home. Whatever sex it is, if one person wants to be like, oh, I want to be the breadwinner, I want to go to work and I want you to take care of the kids, you better make enough money to make that happen.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
I'm riled up.
I agree fully. No, this one really grinded my gears too. I think the only flaw was staying in front of the kids. I feel like
Saying what in front of the kids?
like you only make $35,000. You are too broke to be sexist.
Said in front of the kids?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yes, but
But
I'm sure like she was just raging at that point.
Yeah.
Like it's hard not to.
Yeah.
But I think like ideally it would have been better to say that like behind closed doors so your kids didn't hear that.
Well,
But-
it needs to be said in front of his parents.
Oh, definitely.
So I would be
Yeah.
after the kids. Well, it depends because it's like I don't care anymore because he said it in front of the kids. I asked my husband if he has anything to say, and he said his mother has a point, and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman. He said that in front of the kids.
Fair.
Boom, snap back.
Yes, I know. I just don't think the whole thing should have happened in front of the kids.
Yeah, he should have kept his mouth shut, or he should ask the kids to go up. I'm
definitely on her side.
I'm on board.
100%. Yes, I'm on board too. This is definitely, without a doubt, divorce worthy. Top comment: sucks the kids were there for it, but he deserved worse. Not the asshole. Should have ordered only enough food for you and the kids.
Bam!
Exactly what you said.
Bam! That commenter, that's exactly what we said. Should have only ordered enough, and like you said, not enough. Shouldn't have done it in front of the kids, but he started it, so he shouldn't have done it in front of the kids. It's his own goddamn fault. I'm fucking riled up. And you know what? That leads into my story.
Perfect.
I'm gonna play off on yours, and we're gonna do mine.
Perfect.
This one's coming from Am I the Asshole? It was also posted 2 months ago.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for using my husband's salary to make a point to his family after he told me I should stand up for myself instead of expecting him to do it for me? My husband and I are doing okay financially. We make enough to not worry about rent and necessities. We are saving a decent amount and have a scope of growth for our careers. I make a little more than 1/3 of our combined income. We are both in our late 30s and we have 2 6-year-old boys. I have never really liked my husband's family. Well, most of them anyways. Because they have a lot of old-fashioned opinions and don't really approve of me. We don't have a lot of contacts, so it's okay though. My husband's cousin's wedding is this week, and they are getting married in our city, so he offered for his parents and aunt and uncle to stay with us. The bride and the groom are going to be renting a place by themselves. It is a bit of a squeeze, but we're making it work. They have been here for 2 days now, and on the first day, I heard them having a whole discussion on how it's so sad that our children don't get to have a proper childhood with a mom at home, like my husband and his cousin got, while they were in the living room and I was in the kitchen, and they knew that I could hear. I was stewing, but I really don't like confrontation, so I didn't say anything. Later, I asked my husband if he could please tell them to shut up with the snide comments about me. He said that it's just their opinion and it's not really hurting me, and if I'm bothered, I should learn to stick up for myself, and that he can't always do it for me. This sort of struck a nerve because it's true that I usually ask him to do small things, like telling the drive-thru person if our order is wrong, because it just makes me feel weird and guilty, but somehow it feels like more his responsibility.
That is me. That is me. She is me. I am her.
But somehow it feels more like his responsibility because it's his family involved here. Anyways, so today my father-in-law made one more pointed comment during dinner and said, your son makes XXX. We live in a big city and rent is XXX. We literally cannot live on his salary alone, so I don't know why you think I should be home all day. They were pretty quiet after that. Now, my husband is really angry with me because I put him down in front of his family, who are all richer than us, and will look down on him. So, am I the asshole?
No, absolutely not. I love this. It's just stating facts. Stating facts. Like, literally, what do they expect? Like, you think she... Okay, I'm just saying me, like, I don't want to work. But do you think most people want to work? Like, probably not.
Well,
I would assume not.
No.
Some people have the drive in them. I don't.
I mean, the tide is kind of turning. But 2000 to 2020, there was a big push for women to go out into the corporate world and be boss-ass bitch and make their money and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like now there's kind of a TikTok trend where women are realizing maybe I got duped. Maybe this is bullshit. Maybe it's nice to stay at home.
No, I just mean, like, do they think, like, I don't know. Like, she wouldn't, if she didn't want to or if she didn't have to, like, she wouldn't be doing that. Like,
I don't know.
She would.
Like, it would be different if hubby's over here making $200K a year.
Yeah.
And she's like over here making $50K a year, but she's like, I still want to go to work. But even then, there's nothing wrong with that.
Even then, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
If you love your job, it doesn't really matter what the income split is.
No, exactly.
Unless it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Unless it's like you're working a job that you hate because you just want to get away from your family. I still don't think so.
No, she can do whatever the hell she wants, and they don't have the right to have an opinion. On this,
exactly.
Unless they're going to be paying for them to pay rent, pay groceries, pay for the kids. If the grandparents are going to pay for that, and you want me to stay home, fine.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like
it sounds
you're rich.
It sounds like she's coming from the position of, listen, I go to work out of a necessity, not out of a hobby.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting here.
That's the vibe I'm getting from her.
Exactly.
So she's like, you need to stick up to me, for me, in front of your family, because it's your family. That's your job to stick up for me.
Like, I'm doing this because I have to.
Yeah.
Like, the economy is fucked. Like, lady.
Yeah.
Getting riled up.
Damn in-laws thinking that their sons are so precious, but they're not bringing home the bread.
And boo-hoo, you feel emasculated because you make less and your parents are looking down on you. But, like, you told me to stick up for myself, and I did.
This is what happens. Maybe you should have done it.
Like, all she said was facts. Facts. To shut them up.
Shooting facts.
Like, she wasn't even rude about it.
Yeah, top comment. Definitely not the asshole. Your husband and in-laws, however... common sense dictates that if your family has a problem with your spouse, you have their back.
That too.
Still, I think you handled things perfectly, given the fact that your husband is a textbook asshole and doesn't defend you when he should. He doesn't get to be mad for the way you chose to do what he said. You just took it as advice. Also, is he a teenager? Why is he so pressed about his family knowing such trivial things about your rent and general income? If he didn't want you to say those things, he should have had your back, I guess.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah. And another comment I wanted to make was, we've said this before, if it's issues with your family, you deal with it. If it's issues with my family, I deal with it. This is not something that I should be sticking up to your family.
Exactly.
Like, that is your place, not mine. So for him to be like, you should stick up to them. No, buddy. That's not how that works.
Got a couple comments from OP. A little bit insider mindset here.
Okay.
I totally didn't mean... Oh, I guess somebody made a comment about, like, nothing wrong with the mom working.
Yeah.
Woman having a job. And she replied and said, I totally didn't mean to come off that way. Sorry. It's valid to work because you need fulfillment and having a career. For me, it's just that work has always been more about making ends meet than really building a career. It's only for the last few years that we have been a bit more secure. I would have liked to have been a stay-at-home mom, but that wasn't the right decision for us because of our incomes. It's not my husband's fault, obviously, but the truth is that I'm working to provide for the family too, not just because I made the choice to have a career. We both should be understood, in my opinion. Some women and men, LOL, work because they find joy in their career. Some mostly work because they have to. Most people are probably a combination.
That's exactly what I said.
I mean,
was trying to say.
We friggin' work because we have to.
Yeah.
Freaking economics.
Yeah, I don't have that drive in me.
Not anymore. You used to. When you were in school, you're like, I can't wait till I work full time.
Yep, here we are.
At that point, I had been working for almost 10 years, like 8, I think, because I didn't have all those extra years of school for you.
Yeah.
I was working since I was like 19. I was like, just enjoy school. Enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it.
I hated school too, though. So
School was a lot of work.
I just want to be a stay-at-home wife.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair. If you're staying at home momming it, sure, because mom is a full-time job in itself. But just a stay-at-home wifing it?
A dream.
Man.
A dream.
If you're that, like, I think there's no. I feel like there's a difference between even like stay-at-home wifing it and what you want. You want to stay at home nothing it. Like, you don't want to have to stay at home and then be like, okay, I'll clean, I'll cook, I'll do all those other things. You just want to stay at home.
Yeah.
Like,
Who wants to do that stuff?
I want to stay at home, but can we get a private chef and a cleaner, please?
Yes. I just
Somebody
want to
fold
rot.
my laundry.
Just want to rot all day.
Netflix all day.
Rotting is my favorite hobby.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, moving on. This one's gonna rile me up too. Am I?
Sorry, I was gonna say, when we think of it's so funny when we do these episodes because we try and have a balance, right? We try to like not get like too negative of stories and stuff, and we try to have a balance. But when you come into one that says modern day problems, I feel like there's
only inevitable.
all these problems are gonna rattle us up.
Yeah. All right. This one comes from, am I overreacting? Am I overreacting for telling my wife to wear a different swimsuit? My wife, 27, and I, 28, have been vacationing through Europe for the past week and will continue for another week. We're fortunate to spend 2 weeks in Mallorca / Menorca. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Spain. We've been doing the same trip for the past couple of years. Since my wife is from Europe, we usually visit family towards the end of the trip. This year, 2 couples we're good friends with joined us. One couple had planned to come with us in 2022, but had to cancel due to unexpected pregnancy. This year, they managed to arrange for the grandparents to watch their 2-year-old so they can join us. Another mutual couple, who also have kids, heard about the trip and asked to come along as well. The 6 of us met in Barcelona and flew to Mallorca together. The trouble actually started before the trip because since we've been to Spain before, I know my wife likes to enjoy the European culture by wearing skimpy bathing suits and often going topless or even fully nude. While I've grown accustomed to it, I still feel a bit strange knowing she's topless / naked in public. I understand that it's my own preconceived American prudity, but I try to see it from the perspective and respect that it's her body and her choice. She does have a great body, so I can't complain. However, knowing my friends and their wives, and knowing some background information that one has struggled with body image issues after having kids, I hinted that maybe this time she should pack something with a bit more coverage. She got annoyed and asked what I meant. I explained that I thought it would be awkward if she dressed as she usually does, with all our mutual friends around. This didn't go over well. We finally agreed to disagree, and she said she wouldn't go topless near anyone we knew. For the first few days, we rented a sailboat with a captain, so there was lots of sun. My wife didn't go topless, but wore a skimpiest bikini she must have bought before the trip because I have never seen it before. It's basically a thong and tiny top. While she looks amazing in private, it felt awkward in front of our friends and the captain. She was dressed quite differently from everyone else. I argued with her and asked her to please wear another swimsuit, but she said I was overreacting and acting like her dad, if not being misogynistic. She is right that in terms of what you do see on a beach in Spain is not that crazy. However, you just wouldn't see this in the parts of the US where we are from. Am I overreacting here? We just finished the sail trip, but have another 5 days on the beach with this argument still ongoing. My friends haven't said anything, but I almost feel them judging. Both other wives have very conservative swimsuits, and I might be going crazy, but I do feel like they are judging her. I don't see why it is such a big deal to wear a more conservative swimsuit just to make sure everyone is comfortable.
Let her wear what she wants to wear. What the fuck? Also, like, how old is he?
28.
This dude's a little lost if he thinks that it's not what America's wearing. Because I guarantee you go to a beach in Miami and it's all going to be the smallest bikinis you've ever seen.
Right?
So I don't know what the hell he's
Maybe
thinking.
not topless, but...
Yeah, no, not topless, but European. Yeah, sure, more topless. But you go to Miami or California beach, all you're seeing is like the skinny bikinis.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the bikinis, they're not even covering your boob. They just cover your nipple.
Some of them, yeah.
It'll just be like a little bit of cloth that's just covering the nipple. Nothing to actually like cover the boob anymore.
Yeah.
And as long as... in the States, it's three things. As long as your tits for your vagina and your asshole are covered, you're good. So it's like, how do we achieve that with as minimal fabric as possible? Then charge them 3 times the amount for the bikini.
Yeah. So I'm glad that he's aware of his...
It's just because of his
judgments.
friends? Like, he just has this judgment around his friends?
No, I'm glad that he's aware that he has this preconceived American prudity.
How can you be aware of it
but still asking
yeah.
her to cover up? Like, yeah, this would trigger me. Like, I don't know. I don't know. You would never ask me to cover up.
No.
Which is why I love you. But yeah, I think she can wear whatever she wants.
Your bikinis already have too much fabric. We need to get some of these skinny nipple bikinis.
Mom, plug your ears. And my Zio. Oh my God. What was I gonna say? Fuck. Why is it fair that men can go topless? Like,
yeah, I would. Well, I don't know. Boobs are majestic and magical. Sweet sights.
So shouldn't they be unleashed?
Yeah, I agree. Free the nip.
Free the nip.
If I was her, I would get mad at her husband.
I would say you're making me uncomfortable.
You're making me uncomfortable. Why aren't you wearing a Speedo?
What, aren't you wearing a Speedo?
Yeah. I guarantee you that he's just wearing like normal swim shorts. So I would
No, but I would say like you're making me uncomfortable because you're topless. Like I can see the entirety of your nipple. I could see your like everything. Like
I would just go the opposite way and I would just I'd buy him a Speedo and be like, okay, you want me to wear I'll wear what you want me to wear, but you got to wear what I want you to wear. We're going to play that game of we get to choose what each other wears. Here's a little Speedo for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly. And yeah, I don't know. It like if they're uncomfortable, like that's on them. Like
100%.
My body has nothing to do
Maybe
with
you need
you.
different friends.
No, exactly. Top comment. If your friends are uncomfortable with skipping bathing suits, then they shouldn't vacation in Spain.
Fuck yeah.
Period.
Get the fuck out.
Another comment. Worry about how your wife feels, not how your friends feel.
Boom. Exactly.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on?
Moving on.
Cool. Okay, so I've got a great one to follow up yours.
Oh, great.
Am I the asshole for refusing to wear less revealing bikinis?
I also have another bikini.
Oh, well.
But it's a little bit different.
Okay. For context, I, 40 female, have always been on the heavier side my entire life. Over the past year, I've gone to a personal trainer and have been going to the gym 5 days a week. I've lost over 50 pounds this last year, and I'm very proud of my transformation. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in. So, my 3 best friends and I rented out a house on the lake for the week of 4th of July, which we arrived on Monday. None of us live in the same state, so it's a nice excuse for us to get together with our families, our husbands and children. So, before this week, I had gone shopping for some new bathing suits, and I bought my first ever 2-piece bikini. I have never had the self-confidence to wear a 2-piece. My 3 friends are also on the heavier side. Anyways, so we arrive on the lake on Monday and we all get moved in for the week. The house has a pool and we are all renting a boat for tubing and a couple of jet skis. So Monday, everything was normal and we spent the day outside in the pool, in the lake and on the boat and the jet skis. Everything seemed fine at first. Yesterday was more of the same with no issues, until last night at dinner, my friends and I were sitting on the porch talking. One of my friends made a comment like, "You need to tone it down." At first, I didn't know what they were talking about, so I made a funny comment about nothing. That's when all 3 of them lit into me. They said that I need to cover up and that I'm making their husbands feel uncomfortable. I finally realized what they meant about my 2-piece bathing suit. I asked them what was wrong with them, and they proceeded to say, no one wants to stare at your ass and tits. I was so caught off guard by this that I got defensive. Before long, we were all in a full-blown argument. They were saying that I need to stop acting like a slut, and I replied by telling them that they are just jealous because they are still wearing one pieces. After that, I was so hurt that I stormed off to cry in my room. I couldn't even tell my husband the reason I was so upset. I spent the rest of the night in my room. Now this morning, I'm the first one awake and I'm wearing another two-piece. Am I the asshole or are my friends just insecure?
That's exactly it. Your friends are insecure. And if their husbands can't keep their fucking eyes off of you without getting a boner, that's on them. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you can't keep your husbands on a leash. There's other women in the world that exist and they have eyes. If they can't contain themselves, like, that's a them problem.
Right?
Goodbye, please. I hate that excuse. You're making my husband uncomfortable. Or not uncomfortable. What was the word she used? Like, my husband, whatever.
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Not that he's uncomfortable, but you're uncomfortable because your husband is looking.
Maybe.
Maybe you shouldn't be with him.
Are they even looking?
Are they even looking? If they are looking, maybe you shouldn't be with him.
Top comment. Not the asshole. Sounds like they are jealous that you put in the work to lose weight. And their husbands are boys if they feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
What's the difference between going to the beach and seeing women walking around in two pieces or whatever else? We go to the beach to have fun. Who cares what people are wearing or sometimes not wearing? Unless you are actively trying to flaunt and flirt with the husbands and show off, then I would say they are insecure and projecting their insecurities onto you. Mm-hmm. You didn't do anything wrong, and it's not up to them to say what you can and can't wear. You're there to have fun, spend time together, and relax.
Period.
OP replies and says, their husbands aren't staring at me or anything. I think my friends are overreacting and are just saying that to make me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, that's probably exactly it.
Yeah.
They're jealous that you put in the work and you look good. And yeah, I think they feel jealous. They're just jealous. Jealous little bitches.
Yeah.
Putting other people down doesn't bring you up.
Nope.
It never does. All right. I might leave my bathing suit one for the Patreon episode then, because I feel like there's a lot of...
We got way too many bathing suits over here.
We need more of a variety.
Yeah.
Okay. My next one comes from, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for walking out of the room after my brother told me the name of his baby? I am only a teenager, but my mother had my brother at 16, making him in his 30s. Ever since I was young, I have always talked about naming my future daughter Scarlett. I didn't know why, but I have always adored the name. Every time the topic of babies, names, and children comes up, I always say that my daughter will be called Scarlett. Everyone in my family knows this. Last week, my sister-in-law gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and as you could probably guess, they named her Scarlett. I was really upset at my brother, as he knows that was my top name. I didn't make a big deal about it, I just left the room, obviously upset. Scarlett isn't a family name or anything, and my brother never mentioned liking the name. One time he said he wasn't a fan. I asked him why he would name his daughter that, and he told me to stop overreacting and get over it, and that I don't own the name. I get that it doesn't belong to me, but just because I am a teenager doesn't mean that I am not allowed to have plans for my future. Am I the asshole?
No. Especially if like your brother never talked about it, said he didn't like it once. Very weird. And like, what's the reason? He just said stop overreacting and don't be upset. But like, what's the reason? Why'd you do that?
Why did who do what? Sorry.
Why did her brother still name his daughter that if he didn't like the name?
Sorry, did he say he didn't like the name? Did I miss that?
My brother has never mentioned liking the name. One time he said he wasn't a fan.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did miss that. I guess maybe the wife. So I put this one in this category because I feel like people are very, what's the word? Very protective over baby names and stuff. And that's not to say you don't have to keep your baby name private, but I think not that it's that you don't want other people. You feel like you have ownership over that name. I feel like in my family, I was named after my nonna, who is Teresa, Nonna Teresa. My other nonna, my grandmother, was named Angela. My sister's name is Angela. My cousin's name is Angela, who was also named after my nonna. Mm-hmm. So there's cousins involved. Like, there's 2 cousins with the same name. My grandmother has the same name. Like, I just feel like back then it wasn't an issue. Like, you can have a cousin with the same name.
Well, I think the names kind of usually stayed. I feel like farther, not even like farther past that, but like I feel like names, it was honorable to name your name a new name, like a recurring name that's inside the family.
Yes. Yeah, it was. But I'm just saying, like, we have, like, my mom's sister named her daughter Angela, and my mom named her daughter Angela. So, like, I just think it wasn't a big deal before. I think if you still want to name your baby Scarlett, I don't think there should be any issues with that.
No, I think you actually should.
Yeah.
And I would hope when you are pregnant, when you're having your baby, and you start talking about it, you should even say whether it's a boy or a girl. Whatever it is, you're going to name it Scarlett. And just see what they say. And if they don't like it, that's the biggest fuck you time of revenge. It's like, well, I told you I was naming it whatever. So you think you can steal it out from under me? Nope. They're going to have the same name.
Yeah. I might be wrong about this. People might not agree with me. But I think people can name their babies whatever they want. I don't think people have a claim to those baby names just because someone said that they wanted it first.
I gotta disagree with you there.
That's fine.
I don't know. Like, if I think it's kind of rude what the brother did.
Yeah.
Like, I think knowing that your sister, she not even a conversation,
maybe a heads
not
up
even like,
nice.
Hey, like, we're thinking of it. We really love Scarlett. Like, nothing. Just boom, baby's born. Her name's Scarlett. Like, it's pretty rude.
No, that's true.
It's pretty rude.
That is true.
Like, it would be like for us. I don't know. Like, I don't know. What if Anj was telling us, like, her, like she had a baby name and she's always liked this name. If I'm going to name my daughter, like, I know I want to name her that. And then for some reason, you magically get pregnant in an alternate universe and we have a kid and we're like, boom, that's her name. And we don't even consult Anj. We don't talk about her or anything. Comes to the hospital and we're like, here's baby, whatever the name is. And I'm just like, but you know, that was my favorite name. And I was going to name my daughter that.
I think a conversation should have been had.
Yeah, that'd make us rude as fuck.
Yeah.
He was rude as fuck.
Yeah. But at the same time, I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like if I also really like the name and my sister likes the name, I feel like she would be fine with it. Like, I think, I don't know.
What if Madison knew my entire life since I was a teenager that I wanted to have a boy and I was going to name my boy Andrew, and she's known that for the last 15 years?
I don't know. How would you feel?
How would I feel? I'd feel fucking hurt if she's like, "Hey guys, it's baby Andrew," and I'm like, "What the hell? You knew this was my number one name."
But what if she came to you and was like, "We really like the name Andrew"?
Well, no. Now you're going off track. That's not what happened in the story. We're trying to be relatable to the story.
I already agreed that he was an asshole for not having a conversation.
Yeah, so if the conversation would be different.
Yes. Okay. Top comment. No assholes here. You're young, so everything feels stronger.
No, he's an asshole. I disagree.
Stepping away is probably the right thing to do. While your brother should have given you the heads up, the likelihood is that his wife picked the name. OP replies, "Thank you. I'm not sure who picked the name, but my sister-in-law has been in my life since I was. She is practically my sister."
No, it's pretty rude. It's rude. I would say it's rude, and they can't even give you an explanation of why they picked that name or anything. They're just saying get over it. Like, they're rude. They did it on purpose.
I guess on the I'm flip-flopping here. On the same note, like, there are so many names that you could choose. Why do you have to choose that one name?
There's so many names they could have chose. Why'd they have to pick that one name? And like, you don't even have she still doesn't have an answer. She's like, she's still not sure.
Yeah. I guess for me, it's just not a big deal, but I can understand being upset over it. All right.
On to me?
Yes.
Okay. This one's coming from Today I Fucked Up. Today I fucked up by uploading my Xvids login info onto the Chrome app, which is linked to the family computer, and my teenage daughter saw it.
My ex what?
Xvids.
What's Xvids? Why'd you wink at me?
Let me get into the story.
Okay.
I updated my password info in my Chrome's password manager, forgetting that I'm logged into the Chrome on my PC. So my 15-year-old daughter saw the pop-up saying porn site name login info was saved. She apparently took a pic of it and will either tease the hell out of me for it and show her friends like, dude, my mom's so fucking weird. She ratted me out to her dad. I don't know what precisely was so funny, but apparently she's very amused. My husband asked if I needed help, and yeah, probably therapy or vodka.
Okay, when you said Xvids, you said Xvids. I had no idea what you were talking about.
I said Xvids.
I didn't hear it like
with
that.
with an F instead of a V.
I heard Vids, but now that I'm looking at your story, Xvids.
Run the tape. I don't know. You guys let us know. What did I say? I'll know what I say in the editing.
Got it.
Yes.
Sorry, is the story over?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's just she saved her info login, and it was, technology these days. It was connected to teenage daughter's computer.
That's tough. I would not be able to.
Don't use the same Google Chrome.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Let them have separate stuff.
Yeah. That is a fuck up. Small fuck up. I would say a medium fuck up, actually. Because, yeah, your daughter is probably going to be judging you.
Yeah, but teenage
young,
daughter.
Yeah.
She's probably already on there herself.
Maybe.
It's funny. Okay.
That was a good one.
Let's move on. Am I the asshole for wearing noise-canceling headphones when I had younger kids sleeping in my room? We have some family staying with us for a funeral right now. We only have one guest room which my aunt and uncle took. My other aunt and uncle slept downstairs in the living room. It was decided that all 5 of their kids would sleep in my room since it has the most floor space for air mattresses and its own bathroom so kids could easily go pee. They're all little, so I guess the hallway in the living room with the big glass doors was too scary at night. I wasn't a fan of this idea, but I didn't have a choice. I have a loft bed though, so I had a little private space to myself. I don't go to sleep as early as them, so I was up in my bed playing video games. Around 11 p.m., someone turned on the lights. When I took off my headphones, I heard one of the kids screaming. I didn't really get what was going on, but my aunt and uncle took her out of the room. My mom and other aunt all got the other kids to quiet down and go to bed, so I went back to my game and eventually fell asleep. The next morning, I find out that the cousin that was screaming had been trying to get my attention because she needed to pee, but was too afraid to use my bathroom because someone had turned off the light that was supposed to be left on for them. She saw that I was awake and was trying to ask me for help. When I didn't answer her, she tried climbing up the ladder to my bed. Well, she fell and ended up dislocating her arm.
Oh, fuck.
Everyone wanted to know what happened and why didn't I help her. I said I didn't hear her because I had on my headphones. And everyone started ganging up on me saying I should have known better than to wear noise-canceling headphones once I was babysitting. My uncle is the most angry and said that I need to learn to use my fucking head. But I babysit older kids and no one even said I was babysitting, so I don't think it's fair for them to say it's my fault.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Did you sign up for babysitting? Are they paying you? I'm sorry, was this explicitly told to you that you were babysitting?
Yeah.
No.
They're just sleeping in my room on the floor. How is this my fault?
Goodbye.
What if I was actually just sleeping?
Yeah. That must have been a shock though. I can just imagine a little kid trying to get your attention, yelling at you with your eyes open, and it looks like you're blatantly ignoring them.
Well, he says he's in a loft situation, so I would imagine maybe they could kind of see his head, kind of not, can kind of see the TV light kind of up on the next level, and he's got headphones in, so they're down here on the floor. Hello, I can't go pee, it's dark. Bobby, something like that. And then imagine the little kid. So I'm picturing 5, 6. They walk around, maybe younger, maybe 3 or 4. They can walk and go. When do you potty train your kids? Madison, when do you potty train? When are you potty training, Andrew?
I have no idea.
But young enough that they can go pee by themselves, but not old enough that they can't get up a ladder. And then the kids was like, dum, 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 boom, splat. And the other 4 kids are like, oh my God, Sarah, are you okay?
Oh my God.
My arm hurts. Starts crying. Turns on the light. The parents come in. Why weren't they sleeping on your floor in your guest room? Why weren't they sleeping on the floor of the guest room?
People just project. Like, they feel bad that they put their kids in someone else's...
He would have got in trouble even if he was sleeping. Why didn't you wake up?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, you didn't take responsibility for your kids. Now they're hurt, and that's nobody else's fault but your own. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Top comment. Not the asshole. I'm really sorry to hear that the blame for this was being placed on you. It must be weighing very heavily on your conscience. But in my opinion, I don't think you're to blame at all. I think you're very well within your right to have your own little space while you share a room. I think nearly every person on earth would put headphones in at night in this situation, including the people who are blaming you for it. Who's the person who turned off the light that the kids were supposed to have on? No one's blaming them. Plus, people can't just bounce responsibility of their kids off onto someone else without explicitly asking first. It's not like you were asked and given instructions on precautions to take with the kids. Suck that it happened to the little one, but at the end of the day, shit happens. Kids get hurt, and like my grandma always said, it's going to be gone before their wedding day.
What? Like the boo-boo?
I guess so. I don't know.
Interesting.
Update.
Oh.
I told my dad about them all blaming me when he got home, and he told me that it wasn't my fault or responsibility. We went out and had dinner, just us. When we got back, my aunts and one uncle was still mad, but I'm just going to ignore them like my dad said too, because they'll all be gone soon anyways.
Yeah.
If I was his dad, I'd tell aunt and uncle, shut the fuck up, leave my kid alone.
Yeah. Very good.
Take responsibility for your own kids.
Yep.
It does remind me of this, like modern day problems, right? Like, headphones in. You wouldn't have had to deal with that back in the day. There was no such thing as headphones.
That was a good one.
There was another one that I read that got deleted, and that was my recovery one. And the original one that I read, it was a mom was talking about how like her 3 kids and her husband always wear noise canceling headphones while walking around the house, and she's just so annoyed at them. Yeah, because anytime she tries to talk to them, they can't hear her, and she's like struggling to like get their communication. Get communication. She's giving me the stare down. If you guys are on Spotify, she can't communicate with them.
Well, I can relate. Why? You have headphones in all day long. I try to talk to you. Babe, I have headphones in. I can't hear you. Pisses me off.
I'm working. I'm not listening to music, ignoring you.
That's not true.
My work day. I'm editing.
That's not true.
The podcast.
No, even when you're in the kitchen and you're cooking or you're doing whatever, prepping lunch, you're watching TV.
No, you know what I'm doing? I'm listening to the new book that someone got me addicted to.
Recently, but this isn't anything new.
No, it's not. But your problem is you don't go. You're getting better, but you never used to give me time. You just start talking, and I wouldn't even know you're talking to me. Now you go, "Hey, babe," or you go, "Denver," when I can't hear you and stuff. Wait for me to. My brain needs time to process, but I'm working. Obviously, I have my headphones in all day. We work beside each other, guys. I need to post like a pic on Instagram or something. Like our den is a condo. We have a condo. We podcast in the den, but the rest are work benches, the living area. We have our desk up against the glass that faces out towards it. And I ordered myself up a long one since I started working from. Well, fuck, they're both mine.
All right, where is this going?
Long story short, Teresa used to have the desk in the den. I bought a desk by the window so that I could edit. And then Teresa was like, I don't want to work in the dark dungeon anymore. So then she took over that desk. So then I ordered another desk. Basically, we're beside each other looking out the windows. So we're like within an arm span reach. We could just reach out and tap each other and touch each other. And Teresa will be like doing her job, and I'm doing my job, which is editing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm editing. I have headphones in, and I'm editing. And Teresa will just start talking to me sometimes.
No, I don't do that.
Now she says, hey, babe, and stuff.
No, I'm not talking about when you're working. I'm talking about when you're doing chores, walking around the house, doing laundry, whatever. You always have headphones in, and I'm trying to talk to you, and it's so frustrating because you can't hear me, obviously.
Yeah.
So I have to like come over and fucking tap you.
Yes.
And that's annoying.
Well, I try to put one headphone in when possible, and sometimes I don't know whether the sound deadening is on or off.
I'm just saying I can relate to her.
Yeah, well, she was just saying, she's like, for the love of God, can you please just turn the noise canceling off?
Yeah.
Fine if you want to have your headphones on, but just turn it off where it mutes the whole fucking world. And just do it when you're in the house. If you're outside the house, I don't give a fuck. But if you're in the house, like, I would need to call out to you.
Yeah.
And like, what if something happens? So like, that's actually a pretty fair point with all these like noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, maybe you should stop using them. Okay, I'm done. Let's go.
Okay, well, I would like to say my computer headphones are not noise canceling.
I'm not talking about when you are working at your computer, as I have previously said. Please. Let's move on.
Okay.
This one comes from Relationship Advice, posted 22 hours ago.
Oh, does it? Maybe my next one will come from Relationship Advice.
Yeah, you're just a copycat. You're a weirdo. Silly, goofy mood.
If only Spotify could see my face right there.
Okay. I, 30 female, just found out my husband's 32 male been lying to his work about my pregnant sister, 26 female, being his wife. Can I even fix this?
What the fuck?
Throw away because I'm embarrassed and don't want this on my main. I'm really struggling right now and could use some advice from people who aren't in my immediate circle because I'm too embarrassed to talk about it with anyone else. I'm 30 and I've been married to my husband, 32 male, for 5 years. We've been together for 7 and we met back in college. He was the first guy who made me feel comfortable in my own skin. I've always been more of a tomboy, into sports, preferring jeans over dresses, and my body's more of an athletic side. Growing up, that wasn't always easy. But my husband loved me for who I am, and he never made me feel like I needed to change. I really thought I'd found the perfect partner. I also have a younger sister, Rosalie, 26 female, and we've always been close. She's beautiful and effortlessly charming, the kind of person everyone just loves. Our mom has had some serious narcissistic tendencies and definitely played favorites growing up with Rosalie being the golden child. It wasn't her fault, and she never asked for the attention. In fact, she's always been super kind and supportive, even though she's the type who avoids confrontation and puts herself last to make others happy. So we've never had any issues between us, but all those comparisons growing up left me with insecurities I've never fully shaken. About 2 months ago, Rosalie's long-term partner left her after finding out she was pregnant. She was devastated, and we agreed she should move in with us for a while to get back on her feet. She's been staying with us ever since, and at first, everything seemed fine. My husband didn't seem to act any differently, so I didn't suspect anything was wrong. 1 month ago, though, I asked Rosalie to drop off something for my husband at work because I was swamped. I didn't think much of it, just that it would save me time. Well, she did, and it turns out that when she got there, everyone assumed that she was his wife. They congratulated him on his beautiful wife and their soon-to-be son, and instead of correcting them, he just went along with it. He admitted that he liked how his coworkers reacted to having a beautiful wife and a baby on the way. It made him feel good. One of his coworkers asked him where his wife was at an event, and since Rosalie had already dropped by once, before they assumed she was his wife, and he didn't correct them. It made him feel validated, that he was living up to some ideal that I guess I didn't fit into. I didn't find out about any of this until a few nights ago. We were out for dinner, celebrating our anniversary, when we ran into one of his coworkers at the restaurant. The guy asked my husband where his wife was, and when my husband said something vague about her being busy, I felt like the ground just dropped out from under me. The date was basically ruined, and we went home as soon as we ate. I confronted him as soon as we got home, and that's when he finally told me everything. To say I'm devastated would be an understatement. My husband and I have always agreed on being child-free. We had the discussions early on in our relationship, and I thought we were on the same page. I don't have a strong desire to be a mom myself, partly because I have PCOS, and I know it would be difficult for me to conceive. But now I feel like my husband's been using my sisters to live out some fantasy life that I could never give him. Rosalie had no idea about any of this. When I told her, she was horrified. She kept apologizing even though none of this was her fault. She feels awful and has even offered to move out, but I can't ask her to do that. She's already going through so much, and I want to be there for her. But it's so awkward now. I can see how guilty and uncomfortable she feels being in the middle of this mess. This situation has also ripped open old wounds I thought I'd healed. I spent most of my 20s in therapy, working on my self-esteem and trying to overcome these insecurities, especially like the ones tied to growing up in Rosalie's shadow. I thought I'd finally come to a place where I could love myself or who I am. But now it feels like all the progress has been undone. Years of therapy feels wasted, and I'm back to square one, questioning my place in my husband's life. Since finding out, things have been incredibly strained at home. My husband and I haven't even been sleeping in the same bed, and we've barely spoken to each other. The trust we once had feels shattered, and I have no idea how to even start repairing it. I feel so betrayed. If he can lie about something like this, what else is he hiding? Did he think I wasn't good enough to be introduced to his colleagues? And why has he never talked about his work friends before? I'm starting to wonder if he's been hiding me because he's embarrassed by who I am. This whole thing has dragged up every insecurity I've ever had. I've always felt like I didn't measure up to Rosalie, even though she's never done anything to make me feel that way. But now it feels like my husband has confirmed my worst fears. He chose to pretend Rosalie was his wife because she fits some ideal image and I don't. I honestly don't know how to move forward from this. I love my husband and I want to believe this was just a huge mistake, but it feels like so much more than that. I'm also worried about how this is affecting Rosalie. She's been nothing but supportive, and I can see how uncomfortable and guilty she feels being in the middle of this. I'm really struggling here. How do I even begin to address this with my husband without it turning into a huge fight again? I feel so low, but I can't stand the idea of our relationship ending. I love this man more than anything. He keeps saying sorry and trying to plan date nights. I'm honestly not in the mood for any of it. I've cried 2 times and have binge ate more than I have ever before. How do I live my life now, knowing that I'm possibly not enough for my husband?
What the fuck? Yo, this guy's got something wrong with him.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't even know what I would do. This would just...
Shattered, broken.
It would shatter
divorced.
me. Like,
there's no coming back from that. Imagine one of your coworkers stopped it at a restaurant and was like, "Oh, where's your husband?" I'm like,
I'm right here, buddy.
I'm fucking here. You don't know about me?
And I said, "Oh, he's busy tonight."
Yeah.
Oh my god. No.
How did they even? She said they continued eating. How did they even get through dinner?
I know. Why? How didn't she just say I'm his wife? Sorry, and then how did she question him at the dinner? I would have blew up. But okay, so the reason I put this in this topic is because I think this girl has gone through a lot of therapy, which is more modern than before. I think a lot of people used to look down on therapy, but I think it's a really great thing that everybody should be in. And I feel like no amount of therapy now, though, will ever overcome this. You will always have this in the back of your mind. Your own husband was embarrassed.
But why? He doesn't even explain it.
I think, well, okay, from her perspective, it's probably because she looks more of a tomboy.
But she's guessing. She needs to hear it from him.
That's true, yeah.
He needs to explain himself. They need to have a proper conversation. If there's any hope of anything. Yeah. But I don't see it. I don't see anything coming back from this. Imagine the sister too. I get the ick. I got this dude is giving me
I know.
the ick.
It is icky. To be the sister, I would not want to stay in that house.
No, I think he needs to leave the house.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm sleeping in the guest room. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to sleep with him. It gives me the ick.
Yeah.
If I was Rosalie, I'd be icked out too.
Yeah.
You told your coworkers I'm your wife? Ugh, creepy.
Yeah. Very creepy. Yeah. Top comment. Why are you worried about repairing the trust between you and your husband when it was he who broke it? What has he done to earn your trust back? Groveled? Explained his reasoning? You have done nothing wrong here. Yeah.
Yeah. I want answers from him.
Yeah, this is just really, really tough.
Fantasizing about her?
Yeah, I think so. He said they've agreed not to have kids, but he liked the idea of him being a soon-to-be father type of thing, having a beautiful wife,
Jeez, bro.
He liked the praise. I don't know. It seemed like he needed the therapy, actually. Seemed like
Sounds like he does need therapy.
He needs external validation to make him feel good. So
he messed up what could have been a great thing. Like, you know, you have a little nephew that's close by, but you don't want to get the full responsibilities of being a dad. You know, you can just jump in on the good parts. You don't have to do any of the bad stuff. No responsibility, but you can buy him toys. Would have been a great life, bro. You messed it up.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
this
man.
one was wild.
Bro, I would be icked out if I was Rosalie.
Yeah, the sister.
I'm like, is this dude fantasizing about me? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Get the ick.
Yeah. I hope we get an update on this.
All right. Oh, where do I go from here? All right. Well, I have one story that's also coming from relationship advice.
Okay, copycat.
Okay. Yeah, I've literally just been like mirroring you this whole time, copying you.
I know.
My parents legitimately hate my guts because they caught me playing with Legos as a 24-year-old adult. I need a reality check. Is my relationship with my parents dead? And am I really not where I should be in life? So, for context, my girlfriend broke up with me just before 2024 began. I lost my city job and had to move back in with my parents, who are 58 male, 54 female. When I first moved back in, I was at my absolute lowest. I had been 200 pounds when all my life I was only 145. I had a severe addiction to alcohol and weed, drinking and smoking multiple times throughout the day, also stopped going to university, and my then girlfriend had already moved on in a matter of weeks and was dating her university classmate. Obviously, my parents, who come from a long line of extremely strict and conservative traditional Asian parents, were very upset and they were disappointed more than anything. It took a while, but I went back to school, I shedded the weight and got healthy, tapered off the alcohol, well, sorta, and landed a pretty decent sweet role at a relatively strong startup in an emerging market, more than I could ever ask for. But my parents don't trust me anymore. They only see me as a failure. All of our family and friends' children are either married, moved out, or working at some tech giant. It has really been a depressing climb back to normality. The whole way, though, was just my parents lecture after lecture, telling me how much of a failure I am, how I'm never going to get a job, never going to lose weight, never going to get married, never going to do this, never going to do that, etc., etc. Even now, they still hate me. I feel like they really do. After about a year, I should be able to move out comfortably, though. Today was my first day I took to step back and just look at my life. I have been working hard and I feel like I'm on the right track, and I was really happy. I took the day to just enjoy myself. I cracked a beer, I wrote something in my journal, I was digging around my closet, and then I happened to find my old Legos. I know it's actually kind of pathetic, but I pulled them out and just started playing with them like I used to, creating scenes in my head, character development, the plot, and the works. My mom and dad were both watching me through the crack of my door. At first I laughed, but they were angry. They saw the beer and the toys. I guess I was in a very man-child moment. They berated me for about an hour, told me that a 24-year-old should not be living at home, should be at least going steady with a girl, and should be making more than $70,000 salary. They said I'm an idiot and delusional to think that at any point right now is a good time to relax. I feel like I've explained to them my plan, and I asked them to trust me, but I just need to show it, I guess. A lot of people are telling me that I'm crazy to try and resolve anything with parents because they are crazy, and that I am doing relatively okay career-wise, and just to focus on leaving their home. I love my parents, and I want to try and be a good son, and to have them be happy with me. I also really do feel like I need an outsider's perspective on where my life is at 24 years old. Any advice would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I would agree with your friends, because I think your parents have like a very dated mindset of this is the way things were done back in the day. Like, I think both of my aunts and uncles were married by like 18. Like, you know what I mean? Like it all happened so quickly back then.
Yeah.
At 24 now, I feel like you are so young to, like, the world is your oyster. Like, you can do whatever the heck you want.
Agreed.
You have time to change your career path. You have time to, like, do anything. Like, making $70K at 24 years old is a great accomplishment. I think that's amazing.
Good money, especially if you're in the States. That's really good money.
Like, a lot of people are still in school at 24, like, if you're doing a master's or something. So I don't think you're, like, being behind is all, like, relative. But I feel like some people compare themselves to other people, like, oh, yeah, I should be at this stage by now, whatever. It's all relative. Like, times have changed, obviously. Like, now people don't even get married. People find that they're better off alone. Like, you don't need a partner to be happy. Like, you don't have to have the traditional family or anything to be quote unquote successful.
Yeah.
Like, and it sucks that your parents still hold you to that standard. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't seem like you are trying to achieve those goals for yourself. I think you're trying to make your parents happy and, like, please them.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah, it is.
It's really sad. But no, I think you're doing a great job. Keep going, buddy.
You got this.
Yeah.
Just work on getting your own, just keep saving up to get your own place. Get out of there. Top comment. I don't know about your relationship with your parents, but I'm a mom and I'm really, really proud of you.
Oh, stop. I'm going to cry. What the heck? That was so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm getting teary-eyed. No, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for him too.
I hope the Reddit can make him feel better.
Hopefully they did.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
You know, I always compliment your stories. You never compliment mine. Compliment me more.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I only have two more. And
Same.
one of mine is the bathing suit one. So I'm going to leave that for last if we have time for it.
Okay.
This one's kind of short. And it's coming from legal advice. Do I legally have to bring my date back home if I took them out? It was quite a substantial distance that we drove. I matched with a girl on Tinder and chatted for a couple of days. She mentioned that there was a big event happening 3 states over and asked me if I wanted to join her on a short holiday for a week. I agreed, picked her up, we had dinner to see if we clicked, and then we drove to the event. When we reached the event, she ended up hooking up with another guy in the hotel room I'd booked. She scapered off and eventually returned to the hotel room very, very late after not seeing her for hours and very, very drunk. Obviously, I was pissed that I'd been used for a free travel ticket, and I had to spend most of my time at this event alone. I wasn't expecting to be rewarded with sex, but at the very least, don't abandon me in another state while you go shacking up with other guys. It is still going on for 3 more days, but can I legally just abandon her here and drive home? Or do I have legal obligations to take her home with me? I'd rather not waste any more of my time, and I might be able to do the Makoketa Caves if I leave now. I told her I was going to leave, and she insisted that I had to wait for her, as I was the only way she could get back home. States involved are Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana. Currently in Indiana.
Oh, that's a interesting legal advice dilemma.
Right?
If it was me, I'm already gone.
Yeah.
I'm not writing on Reddit. I'm out. I'm already driving. I'm already driving.
Yeah.
Bye.
Me too.
I don't think you have any legal. I would love to know what the commenters say, but I'm guessing you have no legal obligation to provide a hotel room or a ride for anybody. They willingly chose to travel with you to a certain location at their own adult decision and discretion, and they decide to go hook up with somebody else. You don't owe them anything.
Yep. Top comment. You hold no legal obligation to act as a free taxi service and provide her a return trip to her home state.
Right, yeah. I don't think you hold any legal obligation to have a hotel for her either.
Yeah. Another comment. She didn't sign a contract with you for round-trip transportation. Leave her there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. Like, the entitlement.
Oh, it probably happens a lot. Tinder hookups and everything.
Okay, this guy, though, went overboard. You're going to travel 3 states over for a stranger?
Yeah, that's pretty far.
I feel like that is like...
It's either like, it'd be an epic first date story if it worked out.
yeah, but like, what are the chances that it's gonna work out? Like,
Apparently not very good.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. This is a very modern day issue. Tinder dates. The entitlement, too, I feel, is very, like, modern. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this generation, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I hooked up with someone else, but you still have to drive me home. Like, you're my only way back. Like, why would you think...
Like, well, let me guess. Do you want me to pay for dinner for your new hookup?
Yeah, literally. Another comment asks, are you both over the age of 18? And they reply, we're both over the age of 30.
Oh my God. Have you seen the TikTok video of the girl who's talking about pre and post date expenses and it ends up being $478 that she wanted her date to pay for?
No, that's ridiculous. What do you mean post?
Yeah, I don't know.
Post date. I would imagine like pre-date expenses, which would be milking it, would be like, I don't know, hair, lashes, makeup, clothes and stuff. I don't know, but like
maybe the Uber home.
That okay, but come on, that's also like ridiculous too.
I want an itemized. I want to know what the itemized list does. Just break down the $478 for me, please. Give me the itemized receipt.
That is ridiculous. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are entitled. Like it's the entitlement just keeps growing.
Yeah, literally.
That's crazy. Never heard of that.
Okay.
All right.
On to me.
Yep.
Okay. This one is a best of Redditors update. It's coming in 3 months ago. Trigger warning for drug use and emotional infidelity. My husband did shrooms once, and I don't know if our marriage will survive. Original post was from May 13, 2024. I thought we had the best marriage. I thought we were the lucky ones. It wasn't perfect, but it was really, really great.
I say that all the time, guys. Stop.
I never worried about other women because I had thought what we had was strong enough that other people don't matter. He is very cute, and cute women have flirted with him right in front of me before, and it didn't bother me because I knew that his heart was with me. Well, he did shrooms about 3 months ago, and he loved it. He said it changed his life. He said he understands now that everything in the universe is exactly how it's supposed to be. Everything is going to be okay, and nothing matters. He said he could see me in the way that he has never seen me before. He cried with me on the couch and shot love beams into my heart. I thought we were growing closer. He has been talking about how much more he loves everyone he interacts with on a daily basis. His friends, his difficult coworkers. It all sounded platonic to me, and I assumed his love for me was still special and unique. He has a crush on someone else now, though. Okay, it happens. I would be lying if I said I never got any crushes either. But he is intentionally seeking out opportunities to interact with this person. I told him that it feels a little disrespectful towards me and towards our marriage. I asked him if it was a good idea to put himself in a position of continuing to develop feelings for someone else. He agreed that it wasn't. But I noticed that he wasn't reassuring me in this conversation. He wasn't telling me that this crush didn't matter because his love for me dwarfs how he feels about this other person. I thought it was weird that he didn't say anything like that, and I asked him about it the next day. And he said to me, quote, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you're irreplaceable and that you have nothing to worry about. Guys, the man I married would have never said that to me. We have been talking about this over the past few days, and he tells me that he's not attached to me because he's not attached to anything anymore, and that it's not a bad thing. He chooses to be with me, but he's not dependent on me for his happiness. It seems to me that he doesn't value our marriage anymore because his love for everyone in the world has grown so much that his love for me is no longer unique or special to him. And I asked him, do you want to not be with me anymore so he can go out and love the world? He took several seconds to answer me. My heart completely shattered, waiting for him to answer, but I never would have expected this to be a difficult question for him. Eventually he answered, I don't think so. I was devastated during this conversation, and he showed zero emotion. The man I married would not have been able to see me in that much pain without having an emotional response. He is going to start seeing a therapist, but I am just completely lost, and I don't know what to do. I can't believe my marriage is falling apart because of a 2-gram shroom trip. I can't seem to connect with him or get through to him. I don't understand why he doesn't seem to care. I guess I'm fishing for advice and wondering if someone has similar experiences. I'm hoping that someone will tell me that the effects will fade over time and I will eventually get my husband back. I've read so many accounts of shrooms and experiences, and I've just never heard of something like this happening to anyone else. I have seen accounts of people falling deeper in love and devotion to their spouses, and the opposite is happening to me. I am extremely sad and I don't know what to do.
That's kind of crazy. That's really sad. I feel like, yeah, this could maybe happen to anybody, but like, I don't know. It feels like the effects of, like, how often is he doing them?
I don't know. I don't know if he's continuing to do it, but it kind of seems like it was one time.
Right? Like, she seems
didn't
like the
say,
effects are still...
Yeah, she didn't say my marriage is falling apart because he keeps taking shrooms.
Yeah.
She said, I can't believe my marriage is falling apart because of a 2-gram shroom trip. Like, he had it once. So, I feel like maybe he just had a big revelation during this trip, because obviously the effects are not still in effect. Like, it's 3 months later, she said. So, yeah.
I think this is just the person he is now. Like, he probably, I don't know, when he was high, he probably had this revelation, and
it shaped him, but like
it changed him.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he's not still high, so I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna change. I think this is it. Like,
I don't know. One commenter said he may have experienced an ego death. Some people will take very large doses to intentionally achieve this. When a person has an ego death, they are no longer attached to their identity. They learn our identity is an illusion created by our ego. It is a hard concept to explain, so I won't try too hard to do that. Has he stopped showing interest in things that he used to enjoy, like music, sports, or hobbies? Look up on Google Dark Soul of the Night. It may help you understand what he is experiencing.
Interesting.
Dark Soul of the Night is used to describe a crisis of faith or difficult and painful period in one's life. So OP responds to this comment, and she says, he has not lost interest in things, and he says he is generally happier since his trip. His sport of interest changed, which is very surprising to everyone that knows him, but he's still very interested in sports. I've talked to him about ego death, and he's not sure if he would classify it as ego death. He thinks it's possible. I've had a few dark night of the souls, and it doesn't look like that to me.
I don't know what to tell you, girl. I think he's gone.
So there's an update. The next day, I showed the original thread to him last night. Y'all completely broke his brain in the best way.
Oh.
You guys were able to reach him from a place of understanding that I didn't have access to, but I'm incredibly grateful. I'm going to guess there's a lot of comments on the original post that he was reading.
Yeah.
He read every comment. And then as soon as we made eye contact, tears just started streaming down his face. As soon as I saw him crying, I knew that we would be okay. We just had this big sudden moment of, oh, there you are. Welcome home. And we hugged and cried together. I really think the issue is/was integration. I mentioned his optimism in the comments, and it led to him doing things like trying drugs without doing any preparation or research first. So he just wasn't prepared for the concept of integration and wasn't prepared for how big of a deal this turned out to be. He was, as many of you said, lost in the sauce. It really seemed like he very suddenly snapped out of something last night. Over the past 3 months, he has talked about being able to access something that never went away from his trip. Last night was the first time he said he couldn't access it. He laughed and said that it felt like he just came down from a 3-month trip. We've covered all of the concerns I expressed in my post I can think of. Does he want to be poly? No. Does he feel attached to me now? Yes. Would he be upset if I died or left him? Yes. Does he see me as replaceable? No. Is he confident that he wants to be with me? Yes. Does he understand and value the concept of family? Yes. He also shared that his crush feels like nothing to him now, and he apologized 1,000 times for everything. The shrooms definitely revealed some underlying issues in our marriage, but I don't think it's quite what a lot of comments suggested. We discussed last night that he has some unmet needs that he hasn't been communicating to me because I'm autistic and he usually treats me like I'm very delicate. We are going to continue working through this piece. I'm just very thankful that we have something that we can work through. For those saying that I just need to do some shrooms and I will understand and everything will be fixed, I have done more shrooms than he has. That was never the problem. For those commenting on the dosage of 2 grams, it was lemon-tesque. I experienced for myself a few weeks ago what a massive impact this has on intensity. For those thinking it was a manic episode, he does not have a history of depression at all. He'll still mention this to his therapist, but I think it's unlikely. We have had some new fun things on the table to work on, but I really feel like I have my husband and best friend back, and he looks at me with those googly eyes again. Thank you to everyone who took the time out of their day to write some thoughtful comments.
Well, that was full circle.
It was
Reddit.
full circle.
Reddit just helps everybody.
Yeah.
I love Reddit.
I'm still not liking this talking of crush stuff.
Yeah, right?
Crush on someone. I don't like that. I don't like that talk. I know.
Yeah. We've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Like it's fine to have a crush and stuff.
I don't like that one. I'm bored.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between having a crush and, like, noticing that someone's attractive.
Yeah, I think so. It's like if you start developing a crush for someone, like I don't know, stay away from them. Like, don't interact with them.
I, from my perspective, don't even understand how anybody else develops a crush when you're in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
That's just me. I don't know.
Me too. I don't have crushes. I don't even like men.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think that's all. I'll leave my next one for Patreon.
Okay, that's it. You got any life updates?
I started my new job on Monday. I've had a week. Company seems great.
Good vibes, guys.
Good vibes. It's just 9 to 5, as you know. It's a 9 to 5. So.
I finished our wedding villa video.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to watch that, we posted it on our Instagram.
Yep.
But I know we've been giving you guys updates on that. So if you are interested, I'm sure Denver will put the link.
Put the link down in the description below. Help us out. Help us out by hitting the subscribe button on that channel and this channel if you're watching on YouTube. Smash the like button. Drop a comment. Let us know that you're from the podcast if you watched our video. But we did a nice walk around of what our villa looks like and out in Italy. And if you guys want to do a flyaway wedding, looks like a great destination. We'll let you know once the actual wedding happens. But everything looks good so far.
Yeah, everything is looking great. We're very excited. And our family and friends are very excited after they saw the video.
And we sent out the invites.
Yes. It's counting down. Yeah, but everyone's excited and it now seems real.
Yeah. I am now ahead of Teresa in our book series. We started the second book and I am now on like chapter 11 and Teresa's back on chapter 3. She's slacking. It's not fair.
Yeah, we finished the fourth wing and we're on to Iron Flame.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about things and I can't because she's behind me now.
Well, you listen during the day. I have a job.
I don't listen during the... Okay, well, when I listen during the day, it's when I'm doing the dishwasher or the laundry or I'm cleaning or something.
I know. I'm just saying you have more time to do that.
Fair.
Because I am working.
Fine. And for some people who are asking on Spotify, we finished Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon or House of Dragons.
Yeah.
We finished the season finale.
It was okay.
You want to give your opinion?
Yeah, I don't know. Every episode, I'm like, when is this war happening? Like, when is it happening?
What do you mean? The war is happening.
No, it's not. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened.
Do you think the only time in war is the battle?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
So it's not when's the war happening.
Okay,
it's
sorry.
Like,
when's the battle
when's
happening?
The main battle? You know, wars are made of lots of battles. We literally already got a dragon fight battle this season when the chick died and Aegon fell off his dragon.
It just seems to be like, I don't know, so much unnecessary fluff. But
It's
whatever.
world building, storytelling.
It's just, yeah, it's the way the Game of Thrones series was too. Winter is coming for 8 fucking seasons. Winter is coming, like.
But this is way different. Not
No.
coming. It's here. It's been happening the entire time. The first season was setting up the main characters, giving us the background of why this war is happening. And then the second season has been the beginning of the war. Everything that leads into the war. We got a battle. We got dragons fighting dragons. We're down 2 dragons. 2 dragons have died. So what do you mean it hasn't started yet?
I don't know. That's
It's
all.
going to be 4 seasons long. The
That's how I
season
feel.
finale was amazing. It set so many things up. Like Daemon apologized to Rhaenyra. The Starks are coming down from the top.
Sorry for spoiling anything for you. You should have said spoiler alert.
Whatever. We're this is like 3 weeks after. Like there's lots of time, and the freaking the armies are all met up, and the one chick is fighting the wild dragon. Everything's building up for an awesome season 3. And guess what? There's still 4 seasons, so like we're only gonna get half of in the next season anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right. It was, I'm neutral.
Okay.
Again.
And then what are we watching now? Watch Big Brother updates. Yo, the chick's still.
Are you guys watching Big Brother?
Angela's still in the house in Big Brother. That's wild.
Let us know if you're watching Big Brother, because we
Bro,
will talk to
it
you.
has been so epic. We should almost just have another Big Brother podcast or something, but it was so epic. Like, Tucker was hilarious, and then Quinn not getting voted home. Just everything that could have happened to give us maximum drama, and for no big players to go out, for the drama to still continue on to next week is amazing. Angela's still in the house. Tucker's still in the house. Quinn's still in the house. All of the drama surrounding people, that's what I'm there for. I'm like, Angela, she's having these like breakdowns, and I'm like, I actually don't want Angela to go home. I don't like her. I hate her, but I don't want her to go home because I want to see more breakdowns on TV. I want to see more drama happen.
I just can't stand her. It makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
Like my blood pressure rises when I watch the show.
I can't stand her, but it makes it very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I guess. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, did I say that I started my new job?
You did.
I did.
Oh,
That's all, I guess. Oh, guys, I made the cake. I made the cherry cake.
oh yeah, from
From
last
last episode.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll put up some photos here. Insert photos.
We'll show some pics up. We're gonna eat it today.
So I actually made it. I modified it a little bit. Sorry, but the amount of sugar that it called for was insane.
Oh, we don't need that much sugar.
So I literally did half the sugar.
Oh, wow.
And it was still really, really sweet. Like, I tasted the batter, and it was still really sweet.
Good.
And to be honest with you, I obviously haven't tasted the cake yet. It's waiting in our kitchen. We're going to a barbecue later. But it's mostly chocolate. It doesn't really taste like cherry. Like, yes, there's cherries inside, but the batter just tasted like chocolate cake.
We need cherry topper. Cherry topping.
Yeah, so I did modify a little bit. Like, we posted the recipe, but then in another comment, someone asked, like, do you put anything on top? And he said he does a chocolate ganache, but I was just like, it's just gonna taste like all chocolate, not cherry. So I found like a cherry glaze topping that I'm gonna be putting on it.
I'm excited.
But yeah, Denver will post pictures here. I hope I'm not offending anybody by changing the recipe, modifying the recipe.
Recipes are made to be broken. No, rules are meant to be broken. Okay. Recipes are meant to be changed.
Yeah, so I hope it's good. Kat's excited because she listens to our podcast, and we're going to barbecue with Kat, and she was like, "Make the cherry cake." So I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
We've babbled on long enough.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.